To take a moment to say hello to my new Patreon, Yen. And guys, because of her, she has inspired the name for my fan base, you guys, Crystal Balls. So from now on, you guys are going to be my crystal balls. Love it. All right, we'll see you in a second. Hi Crystal Balls, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video today. If this is your first time here, welcome. Please think about sticking around, liking, commenting, and subscribing. For everybody else, thank you so much for being on this journey with me. I am excited about the interesting turn that my channel has taken in the last few weeks, and it's been both exhilarating and odd, but I love it. I love it. So thank you to everybody who has come to my channel, who has commented, who has been sending me some great information, great ideas. Guys, I really appreciate you all very, very much. You have no idea how much you all mean to me. And I can't do this without you. And you know, I started YouTube about a year ago and thought, hey, it's probably gonna go nowhere, but I'm gonna have fun doing it anyway. And while I don't have a huge subscription base, the people that I have, you guys are amazing. And I am so happy and so thankful that you allow me and my little itty bitty corner of the internet into your life. And that is, I'm very humbled by it and very appreciative. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Don't forget to spread the love to everybody else. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to other YouTubers, especially small ones like us, but also make sure that you are supporting your small businesses, your friends, all of this like, share, comment, subscribe thing. It's a free thing for you guys to do to help out your fellow human beings, your friends, your YouTubers, all the above. All right, so I know that was a little bit of a long intro, but I do really appreciate you guys, and I just want to pass that on. So today we're going to kind of be talking about Summer Wells again. 5 days ago, at the time of this recording, it was the 1 month anniversary of 5-year-old Summer Wells missing. Now, I do want to say something. In my last video, I said that Summer was from Utah. And I had no idea what the Utah connection was. I accidentally said Utah. I meant Tennessee. She's from Tennessee, but Utah came out of my mouth. Well, I just looked up to try to find what the Utah connection was. Summer's full name is Summer Moon Utah Wells. So that shocked me a little bit. So apparently I didn't see that before. I promise I didn't see that before because I was trying to say Tennessee and Utah came out. So there's the connection there. Anyway, there hasn't been much change in the Summer Wells case, and it's very sad. In fact, they have scaled back because at this point, being realistic, it is going to be next to impossible to find this child if she's out there. And not to be too graphic, so trigger warning here. We'll just put up a trigger warning for this entire video. If it's too much to talk about a missing child, I completely understand, and I'm going to be open to any circumstances that happen to her, which are possible. That may not be the kindest thing in the world that's happened, so trigger warning on that. For the very basic things, like I said before, usually the simplest explanation is the one that is correct. And there are two very simple explanations for this particular instance, and both of them are realistic. The first one is she wandered off and got hurt, fell down, got attacked by something. There are snakes, there are coyotes, there are different things in that area that are very deadly. It is beyond possible that Summer did just skip away and got hurt, got dragged away by a coyote, got whatever. And being a month later, nature is going to do what nature is going to do, meaning they'll probably devour what was left of her. And yes, I don't believe that she is on this planet anymore. She's not in this planet of existence. I believe she passed very, very suddenly on that day. The other simple explanation is that everything that we've been told is a lie, and Summer hit her head while she was swimming. And instead of taking her daughter to the hospital, they took her back to the property. There has been reports that Summer fell while she was swimming and hit her head, and the boy, the 15-year-old boy H that was with them, had to go and save her. So it is a possibility that she had a concussion and passed away, or had a brain trauma incident and passed away, and mom panicked and disposed of her child. Now, there's another theory on that goes deeper, that is not mine, but when she said it light bulb. I can't remember her name at the moment. I will link her channel. It's Mermaid something or other. I'm so sorry, but this is 100% her theory. And when she said it, I'm like, that's what happened. That's exactly what happened. So, 15-year-old boy H was with Candace, the mother, and Summer at the place called Warriors. Now, the interesting thing is, before I get into this theory, nobody can agree on where Warriors actually is. And coming from a small town, I understand that. You know, we all had a name for certain places, but in actuality, it wasn't the name. It was something else, or it was just something the locals called. Anybody outside wouldn't necessarily know this was called this. This Warriors is actually supposed to be a very safe place where there's swimming and lifeguards, and people can like book parties, and you know, it's supposed to be a very beautiful outdoorsy place. But Warriors has also been used for places, you know, farther away that in actuality are not connected to the actual Warriors. So even people who are locals can't agree where the Warrior spot is. Apparently this one is downstream of a horse farm, which I would never take my child swimming in that. I mean, I know I grew up a country girl. Yes, you go swimming in certain places, but really, would you really go swimming in a place with downstream from a horse farm? No, you wouldn't. And just the bacteria itself, like, you wouldn't do it. Like, there's even fishermen who say they won't fish in this particular area that's being referred to Warriors that actually is not. So it makes things a lot less clear and more confusing, like everything in this case. So mermaids, I can't remember her name. I love you, I'm sorry, so I'm just gonna call you Mermaid. Her theory is that mom and H had the twisted teas, which were found around there. And again, there is no proof necessarily that those cans belong to Candace and H. Well, it would have to be to Candace because she was the only one old enough to buy them. And either they gave Summer alcohol or she got into it. And unfortunately, with a little kid like that, alcohol goes pretty quickly in their system and makes them drunk. So her theory is the little accident was a lot worse a lot worse than what it seemed, because Summer was under the influence of alcohol and she hit her head. And the photos, the things that you see on the way home with the groceries where she has her head propped up on the milk jugs, that's actually an ice pack for her. And when she said that, I was like, holy crap, she's absolutely right. I can't believe I didn't see that until now. I agree with that wholeheartedly, that that was an ice pack. That was mom panicking and not taking her child to the hospital, because if she did, she would get in an enormous amount of trouble. Now, Child Protective Services are no stranger to the Wells home, and Candace, not that long ago, filed a restraining order against Dawn, claiming domestic violence. But there's also been claims against Candace. So this is a big mess. This is a big cluster. And no matter how you slice it, deceit is happening. The timeline, we still haven't established to this day. We still don't know the exact timeline because it doesn't make sense. And I'm sorry, what is this woman, an adult woman, doing around a 15-year-old boy? Now, I work with kids. I have a situation where I work with youth and things like that. So I am around kids a lot, but there's reasons for it. I also have 3 nieces that I am very active with, and yeah, I get that if it's like your family, but, or even somebody that you work with, but a random 15-year-old boy. I am wondering if Candace has had an affair with this child. And I know that's a leap, but not really. Because it just, something doesn't add up here. This is the Hanged Woman. And in this case, this is Candace. This is something that she really, really messed up. And I can't help seeing how wooded things are. She put her child out there. Whether intentionally or not, I don't know, but she put her child out there in the woods to fend for herself. She could have been saved. I'm telling you, that kid could have been saved. If she went to the hospital, she could have been saved. She's going to be judged very, very harshly. I mean, very, very harshly by Dawn. I don't think he knew the extent of what happened that day. I think he's starting to put things together, but I don't think he was ever flat out told, hey, Dawn, this happened and your daughter's dead because of this. But he has believed since moment one that his child is dead. This is what I call my chest card. I know it's different for everybody else, but this is my chest card that shows that this is a game being played by one person who thinks they're doing it in an expert manner, but they aren't. This is a game, and they're trying to keep ahead of the game in order to win. Oh, when the star comes up, this is usually things that are fanciful, illusions. So a lot of illusions are being presented to us and presented to immediate family members, the boys, things like that, that you are both being told to believe the fantasy, but also being told that the fantasy is real. So there's a lot going on there. The Lord, this is going to be very difficult for Dawn, because I don't believe that he had anything to do with his child's disappearance. I think he understood that something happened that cost her life, but he didn't know what it was. But I feel like the wrath is coming from not just him, but from the mothers and fathers of the universe are going to like converge onto this situation. I'm not normally this fascinated with cases, but this is something so different. Like I said in my last video, that this is an unusual circumstance as far as being national news about a child missing like this. This is unusual because the parents are seemingly poor and, derogatory term, redneck, and seem to be uneducated, and really both have had, mom and dad have had some run-ins with the law. It does not mean that just because there was a past offense that there would be something happening presently. It's hard not to connect those dots, but you have to be realistic. It doesn't mean X happened that this is going to happen too. People have many types of crimes and things like that they never jump to killer. So I just kind of want to put that out there. And it's unusual, but it's because she's a poor white girl who is 5 years old. And I think that's why the media attention is all over this. If it was anybody else, it wouldn't be the same. And I hate saying that, but working from what I work, trust me, only a certain small percentage gets media attention. And it's usually the same type of girls. Young girls under the age of 10 that are white, blonde hair, blue eyes. And that is a consistent pattern. And that is not right. And that is very scary, especially for people like me who are advocating for children of all ages and all races, and who go missing every single day, but the attention doesn't get on them. The other thing I want to point out here is going to be a little bit of a rant, but a huge concern. So I have watched a couple of videos of Summer at church, and her church Sunday school teacher, Sabbath teacher, I'm sorry, was very close to Summer. So much so that during Sunday or Sabbath school, she would pop up on her lap and she would help do other things. Like the kids were doing one thing, she would help teach her with other things or help get things set up, be her little helper. But also during the actual church service, Summer would be all over the place. She wouldn't be sitting with her family. She'd be up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, especially with her Sabbath teacher. So I don't think there's anything wrong with the Sabbath teacher, but I have to make this as a blanket statement. I believe that anybody who works with children need to have proper child training and have to have courses and be renewed to some sort of license at least once a year, if not more. That's the bare minimum that people do in Girl Scouts and Job's Daughters and Rainbow Girls and Eagle Scouts and many things like that. We all have programs that we have to learn and abide by in order to work with children, that we are taught warning signs, we are taught different things. And the thing is, what was happening with Summer being the way that she was, being very clingy, and especially to her Sabbath teacher, that's a cry for help. A huge cry for help. And the Sabbath teacher, I believe, did not have the necessary training to see that as a warning flag. And guys, that is a big warning flag. The over attention that is needed from a child describes neglect. And it usually is neglect of basic needs, meaning food, being safe, shelter. I don't know of any church place of worship, whatever you want to call it, that does this. There could be some out there that I'm just not aware of, but I think it needs to be mandatory for youth pastors, for anybody who is an adult leader who is going to be leading children. They absolutely must go through training. There's a whole big problem with churches that they have been getting away with horrific things since they've been around. In the United States, churches are a nonprofit organization, which means they are not taxed, which means that they do not have to account for their money. And there have been many churches involved in trafficking that, it's a real thing. And since, there's no accountability for the money, there's no, you can say I went to Thailand and brought home people for religious reasons. And I'm not saying all churches do this, but too many do. I 100% believe that churches need to be taxed in order to account where their money is going, because this is a very dangerous situation that has been open. There are so many people in your churches right now that are P's and that have conducted themselves unbecoming to a minor child, who have been abusive, who have performed SA, CA. This is a huge, huge thing. We all know this, and it's a cesspool for these type of people because they can go and get away with it because nobody can follow the money. And I completely stand behind my statement that they should be required to be taught certain certifications, CPR included, in order to be able to work with children. Why a lot of places don't do that is because you are held to a higher standard if you've completed these types of courses. Me personally, if I walk down the street and I see a kid fall down and it seems like they need CPR, the average person is going to go help. I would be that average person. But if I didn't help, I would be held to a higher standard of trouble because I have certification. So that means that I could go to jail, I could, face fines and things like that. You are leaving yourself somewhat more open, but you are allowing yourself to be more accountable for your actions and helping minor children. There should not be any issue with any church person taking these types of courses. I really, really believe it needs to be required because I've never seen it happen in a church. Like I said, I don't know if it happens. If it happens in your church, let me know. Let me know, because I want to know. And I'm not talking about anybody else's training outside. You're not coming into a place with training from school, training from this. No, you need your own separate training that is uniform for everybody who is, I've even had people who work in big places that already have all of this type of certification still have to go through the certification of groups and things like that to make sure that everybody's on the same page and everybody is safe. So I know this wasn't the best video and I kind of rambled on a little bit, but summer has gone to the Summerlands, unfortunately. And I really don't know if the truth will ever come out. But we can just pray for this kid's soul. Okay. All right, everybody. Remember, every single day is a gift. Use your time wisely. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.